My name is Adam Willard. I am an assistant professor in the chemistry department at the Massachusetts Institute of Technology. I'm a theoretical chemist by training, which means that I study molecular systems with the tools of mathematics. One of the main goals of my research group and what I hope to accomplish in my career as a theoretical chemist is to really explore some of the important consequences of molecular disorder in a wide variety of systems. We live in an interesting time because computers have become so fast and efficient and so broadly available that there's a whole class of problems which we can explore computationally which were not really available to people 50 years ago. What I mean by that is that for years the solution to many chemical problems from a theoretical chemistry standpoint had to be done analytically by pencil and paper, which meant that many approximations had to be made in order to make the solution analytically tractable. That criteria is no longer has to be rigorously adhered to because we can throw kind of arbitrarily complicated mathematics into a computer and let the technology do the legwork. So for that reason, we're now able to explore the molecular consequences of some of these approximations that have been made and show up in textbooks and address those particular instances where these approximations that have been made maybe break down or fail to predict the right behavior. And that's an exciting thing because the role of molecularity, that at the baseline everything's made out of molecules, can in some circumstances have a profound impact on sort of what is observed compared to, say, assuming things are made out of just a continuum of material. The materials we're interested in are known as organic photovoltaic materials. They're basically solar panels that are made out of plastic, but semiconducting plastic. These materials are attractive because being made out of plastic, they're essentially carbon, they're made out of earth-abundant materials, and they're easy to make in large quantities and can be made to be very lightweight and mechanically flexible. But also, like most plastics, if you look at the molecular scale, if you look at these materials at the molecular scale, they're extremely disordered, a big tangle of different molecules. The way these solar panels work is that sunlight or some other incident light hits these materials and excites an electron on one of the molecules. This electron has to make its way out of the material to an electrode where we can collect it and have it use it as a source of electricity. What exactly the energy of this excited electron is, how large it appears, where exactly it sits on the molecule are extremely sensitive for the molecular configuration. What is shown in this movie is a molecule like the ones that show up in these organic photovoltaic materials. And as I play the movie, you'll see this molecule undergoing ordinary excited state dynamics. So this is how a molecule moves immediately after it's been excited by a photon of sunlight. And this big purplish bluish blob represents the position of the excited electron. What you'll notice is that the position of the electron, its shape, are quite dynamic and they move around a lot. And they're pushed around by extremely subtle changes in the nuclear motion. So the general shape of this polymer doesn't change appreciably over the course of this movie. All that's changing are very subtle differences in where the carbons lie relative to their neighbors. And all these little wiggles in the molecule have a profound effect on where exactly this excited electron lives. And so you could imagine if instead of one of these molecules I had 1,000,000 of them all tangled up, that understanding the relationship between these subtle nuclear motions, where this electron is, and ultimately how this electron makes its way from deep inside the material to out where we can collect it and use it to power our fans or our light bulbs, is a very challenging problem, but one that needs to be addressed in order for these particular materials to cross over to the realm where they're going to be useful on sort of a global scale.